Okay, did I get all my green sheets back in the plate? We're good, okay. Now, let's review a little bit from yesterday. Now, I don't know if you noticed this one, I drew the same triangle twice. And the reason that I drew the same triangle twice is, what is the question that we are answering in this set of problems?
How many triangles are possible?
How many triangles are possible? And the answer to that question is going to be 0, 1, or 2. So just in case it's 2, I went ahead and drew 2 up here. It might not be 2, but I'm going to check it to see if it is. So how many triangles are possible? Always 0, 1, or 2 is going to be the answer. Okay? So let's go ahead and set it up. Remember, when we're doing law of sines, this is what we look for, right? That's what I look for. That pair. So sine 76, remember how this works? Sine 76 over 18 equals sine B over 20. So you remember that proportion from yesterday? This is number 2B on page 41. How do I go from here now? Cross multiply. So 18 sine B equals 20 sine 76. I'm just cross multiplying. Now my variable is sine B. This whole thing is my variable. So that's what I'm going to get by itself. So that means I'm going to divide by 18. So sine B equals 20 sine 76 over 18. Everybody okay to this point? All right, now these are the tricky ones to type in. Don't type in that fraction, kids. That will not give you the answer. You want to know what angle B is. How do we find, what button do we press to find angles on our calculator? Second sign. So second sign, that big fraction, 20 sine 76 over 18. So if you're not sure how to type that in, I want you to listen and type along with me. Second sign, 20 sine 76, close parentheses, divided by 18 equals.
I'm getting an error.
Yeah, that happened to me twice.
Huh. All right, let's stop and think about this for a minute. How many triangles are possible? What did I tell you? The possible answers are 0, 1, or 2. Guess how many in this problem?
0.
0. Because when I typed it in, my calculator said error. Now, I like what Allie did. Allie typed it in, got error, and said, well, she went back and typed it in again just to make sure that she hadn't made a mistake typing it in. She had error the second time. That means there are no triangles possible. So the answer to number B, letter B, is 0. 0 triangles possible. Obviously, yes, Xavier? Xavier! Oh, my Lord. Someday you're going to be super rich. You're going to buy calculators for the kids in school, right? Everybody heard it. He nodded, right? It's on video. It's on video. All right. Now, obviously, I don't need my second triangle because the first one didn't even work. So I'm ready to move on to question number 2. Or the second question, I guess it's C. Question C. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Angle A is 85, side A is 15. That is one of the most important things we've talked about. Remember, if you put angle A here, and I don't really care where you put angle A, it doesn't make any difference. But wherever you put it, side A is across from it. So I'm going to draw this one twice. I always draw them twice You guys don't have to. This just reminds me to check to see if there's gonna be another triangle. If I actually draw it, then that will remind me to check it. Okay? So here we go. What's my setup? Right here, guys. See that right there? I keep emphasizing this. After lunch, that's gonna be important that you recognize that. It's either there or not there. Sine 85 over 15 equals sine B over 25. Now, does anybody have a question about the setup? Okay, we know we're gonna cross multiply. So 15 sine B equals 25 sine 85. Remember, this is your variable, that whole thing. So we're gonna divide by 15. So sine B equals 25 sine 85 over 15.
Error again.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me, I haven't even written the problem yet. So B is second sine 25 sine 85 over 15. And everybody says that's error. I gave my calculator away, so I gotta trust you. Okay, what's the answer to the question? 0. All right, luckily there's some more. Let's try the next one. Remember, every one of these you do is gonna be 0, 1, or 2. Just so happens we had a couple of zeros in a row. What was yesterday's? Yesterday's was 2, right? All right, let's see what happens here. All right, so here we go. Let's see if we get an answer this time. So angle A is 42, side A is 22, side B is 12. All right, so I've drawn it twice in case there are 2 triangles. All right. Kishad, can you set up my law of signs here? Here's my match right there. So can you set it up for me?
Is it 22? Wait.
It's right. Look at your, what we did.
Sine 42.
Over,
22.
yep, equals,
Sine B.
yep, over,
12.
perfect. Everybody got that set up? Okay, so we cross multiply. You say this is another error. I don't think something's going crazy. Remember, sine B is your variable, so you're gonna divide by 22. So sine B is 12 sine 42 divided by 22. Is everybody caught up? Am I going too fast?
Not an error.
This one's not an error, good. So what do I type into my calculator? B is gonna be second sine that fraction. When you type this in, please do it, make sure you get the answer. You're gonna type second sine 12 sine 42 close parentheses divided by 22. Don't hit equals anywhere in all that till the very end, okay? So second sine 12 sine 42 close parentheses divided by 22. What did you get?
21.41.
21.41. Everybody in agreement? I can't do that in my head. it, so I'm trusting you, 21.41? All right, now, I'm gonna check to see if there's a second one. Remember, my answer can be 0, 1, or 2. I know it's at least 1, because I got an answer. The second one, anybody remember how we find our new angle B? It's real easy. Subtract from 180. So do 180 minus your first answer. What's 180 minus this?
158.59.
158.59. Okay. If there is a second triangle, your new angle B will always be 180 minus your original angle B. Now, I want you to look at this triangle and tell me, is that okay? Can I have a triangle with a 42 angle and a 158 angle?
No.
No, because why? It's more than 180. So, I checked for a second triangle, but this time it didn't work. So how many triangles are possible? 1. So, again, you type this in on your calculator. You got 21.41. If there is another angle B, it's always 180 minus the first one you got. Then you have to just look and see if that makes sense. If this had come out, instead of being 158, what if it had come out to be 58? Then that would be okay, right? And then you would have 2 solutions. But because that one doesn't make sense, you only have 1. All right, let's try the next one. You ought to be able to get it started anyhow. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. All right, you can set this one up. Melissa, how does this one get set up?
Sine 60 over 9
Beautiful.
equals sine B over 10.
Perfect. Everybody got that set up? Okay, so you know what to do. You're gonna cross multiply. And what are we gonna divide by? Remember, sine B is our variable, so we're only dividing by 9, right? We've done a couple of these already. I don't want to bore you. Does anybody need me to explain any of these steps here? So we cross multiplied and divided by 9. So are you good to hear? Then you have to remember that just like always, when you are finding angle B, you have the second sign.
74.21.
Okay, Jacob says 74.21. Did anybody else get that? Everybody got that? Okay, so then, oh wait, that was this one, sorry. So then, I gotta see if there's gonna be a second triangle. So how do I check to see if there's a second? 180 minus this, which is, what? 105.79? Is that right? And then I look at it and say, okay, is it okay to have a 60 and a 105 in the triangle? Yes, it's perfectly okay. Because why? 60 and 105 are less than 180. So it's possible. So how many triangles are possible this time? 2. Okay. Are you starting to get the hang of it? Yeah. All right, one more. Oh, I don't like the looks of this. I don't like the looks of this at all. Did we end up with an error?
Yes.
What does that mean then in terms of answering the question? None. 0 or none. When you second sign this, you're gonna get an error message. Okay, so we're moving on to something different. So one more review of the steps we go through. We set up our law of signs. When it says how many triangles are possible, we find our match here, and we set up our law of signs. Cross multiply, divide. Because you're solving this one for sign B, you're in a second sign. If it's an error, then you say no triangles possible. If you get an answer, then you write that answer down. So maybe I come up with 70. I'll make that up and say 70. Then you step over to your second triangle, and if that one is 70, this one would be 110, right? And in this case, that would be all right. So that one would have 2 triangles. But if this one right here had been 30, then this would be 150, and that would not be possible, so this scenario would have 1 triangle. Okay? Our next class, which is tomorrow on video, we will do a practice quiz, and I will run them off at lunch, so I forgot to run them off. So I'll run them off so I can give them to you ahead of time. We'll do that on video tomorrow, and then your next class after that, we'll have a quiz over the law of signs. It will have 2 problems on it. One problem will be like the solve triangles that we did yesterday, where you find all the sides and angles. And the other question will be like this: how many triangles are possible? All right, and we'll practice that tomorrow, and I'll run that off at lunch and give it to you. Okay. So we're going to get started on 5.6. And it's almost lunchtime, so we are not going to get very far. In fact, and I hate to do this, but you know what? This is just a natural break here. So I'm going to go ahead, I hope I don't get in trouble, and send you to lunch. But then I need you back at 12:30, okay? So go ahead and go to lunch, and I need you back at 12:30. That's just a natural break.